Well, hey everyone, this is Troy Harper here at Harper Cigar Lounge. Welcome back. This is episode 10, and I'm Troy Harper again. And welcome. Thanks for being here. I appreciate all of you. Thank you for all of you that have been supporting me from the beginning up through now. All of you are just as important as the other, and I wouldn't be here without any of you, so I don't take that lightly. So thanks for coming here to hang out with me a little bit and for being with me during another show here. Again, this is episode 10 of Harper Cigar Lounge. Going to discuss Fleetwood Mac today. That's the show today. I'm remembering Fleetwood Mac for their contribution to the music world out there. Outside of hard rock, heavy metal, Fleetwood Mac is one of my absolute favorite bands. And I on my last episode, episode 9, I discussed Stevie Nicks. I love all of her solo work, and of course, I thought it was very fitting to go ahead and do a Fleetwood Mac show as well, because since they all kind of go hand in hand. Without Fleetwood Mac, there would be no Stevie Nicks. And so it's great to be here with you guys and to be a part of your lives a little bit today. So let's get this party going. I'm very excited about this show today. Really had a lot of fun doing the Stevie Nicks show last time. And so I'm really excited to dive into some Fleetwood Mac stuff. And then on the next episodes, we're going to be getting back into some hard rock, heavy metal material. So really excited to do that. So anyway, guys, where do I start? Let's start actually with what cigar I'm going to be smoking reviewing today. I've got the West Tampa Tobacco Company cigar today. This is a Toro, and this is a 6x50 Toro. Um, Wrappers Maduro Mexican San Andreas. The binder's Nicaraguan Condega. Fillers Condega Viso Esteli Ligero Esteli Viso. So again, fillers Condega Viso Esteli Ligero and Esteli Viso. Country of origin is Nicaragua. Full strength cigar, about 60 to 90 minutes smoke approximately. Again, by the West Tampa Tobacco Company. And this cigar um, is a perfect example of a renowned. Is let's see, this cigar is the perfect example of a renowned blender, Rick Rodriguez, doing what he does best, blending complex and powerful cigars. This dark blend features a rugged Mexican San Andreas wrapper over Nicaraguan binders and fillers. The resulting flavors is a classic yet delicately balanced profile with coffee notes, leather, cocoa, and a signature San Andreas wrapper sweetness. Fans of full strength cigars will enjoy every puff of this exciting new blend. Um, Also, if my memory serves me right, there's some nice, a little bit of spice in with this cigar as well. So let me get this cut and toasted up, and we'll get into some Fleetwood Mac here. So nice smell in the wrapper. Nice hay, grass, fresh gray and straw smell. Um, Nice cinnamon, kind of cinnamon, nutmeg, kind of a baking spice kind of taste to the cold draw, which the cold draw is really nice. The construction looks really great on this. Get this, start a toast on this, and I'll do a final light with my match. Just trying to heat that tobacco up. I'm not trying to scorch it. Trying to keep my flame away as much as I can. Just want to get that tobacco heated up nicely and evenly. I think it's ready. Got a nice even, fairly even burn going on that. As you can see, it's looking pretty evenly burned there. Got that red glow, that red oranges glow evenly throughout the whole end of my cigar there. So I think it's ready to go. Um, Gotta start out where it all really kind of started here with Stevie Nicks and Lindsey Buckingham, which is what made Fleetwood Mac as famous as they are. Of course, there was a Fleetwood Mac before Stevie Nicks and Lindsey Buckingham, but really nothing gelled with Fleetwood Mac until Stevie Nicks and Lindsey Buckingham were accepted in by Mick Fleetwood. Cheers to you guys, by the way. Got my coffee. And so the first album here, of course, is this one right here. Kind of a folky rock kind of album. Adult contemporary kind of folky kind of stuff. Really great, really great singing between Stevie Nicks and Lindsey Buckingham on this. Really terrific album. It really is really terrific. Here's the inside of it right there. Just really young at the time. But we'll give you a little history of that really quick. Buckingham Nicks is the only album by the duo of American rock guitarist Lindsey Buckingham and singer Stevie Nicks, both of whom later joined Fleetwood Mac, which was in 1975. Produced by Keith Olsen, the album was released in September of 1973 on Polydor Records. Um, again, released September 5th, 1973. Recorded at Sound City in Los Angeles, California. Uh, Genre is folk rock. Length of this album is 35 minutes, 58 seconds. And the songs on this album um, are Crying in the Night, Stephanie Without a Leg to Stand On, Crystal, Long Distance Winter, which Crystal, I believe, it's either Crystal, it's either Crystal Don't Let Me Down Again, or I think Frozen Love, I think is a song that Mick Fleetwood listened to that got him pretty intrigued about asking Lindsey Buckingham into Fleetwood Mac, which he wouldn't accept unless Stevie was with him. So they accepted, Stevie and Lindsey both into Fleetwood Mac. But so the song listing again is Crying in the Night, Stephanie, Without a Leg to Stand On, Crystal, Long Distance Winter, Don't Let Me Down Again, Django, Races and Run, Lola, My Love, and then last track is Frozen Love. So there's 10 tracks total on this album. It charted at number 28 on US Billboard Midline LPs. In 2025, it charted at number 2 on the US Top Rock and Alternative Albums, number 11 on the US Billboard 200, number 1 on the UK Americans albums, and number 6 at UK albums. And then there's a lot of other countries that really rated pretty well with. So anyway, but it for whatever reason it just didn't take off the way they thought it would. This album was a commercial failure on its original release, and despite the duo's subsequent success, it remained without a commercial remaster or digital re-release for over 5 decades. The album was remastered and re-released on CD, vinyl, and streaming services on September 19, 2025. And let's see here. Which was really released on Rhino Records. Let's see here. Upon its re-release, Buckingham Nicks charted in several countries, reaching the top 20 in Austria, I'm sorry, Belgium, Croatia, Germany, the Netherlands, the United Kingdom, and the United States. Billboard reported that the album sold 30,000 copies in the United States during its first week on the Billboard 200 chart in September of 2025. That's amazing. That is pretty amazing. So anyway, yeah, so definitely a good album on Rhino Records. Buckingham Nicks. Originally that came out in 1973. So on Polydor Anthem in the US, and then Quality in Canada, Rhino, again, the 2025 re-release. So anyway, great album. If you love Stevie Nicks and Lindsey Buckingham when they sing together, you will love this album. So pick it up. Definitely a great album. Love this album. I think it's really good. So then let's get into a little bit of the Fleetwood Mac history here. So Fleetwood Mac was a British and American rock band formed in London in 1967 by singer and guitarist Peter Green. He named the band by combining the surnames of drummer Mick Fleetwood, the only constant member of the band throughout its history, and bassist John McVie. He joined the band soon after it was formed. Fleetwood Mac have sold more than 120 million records worldwide, making them one of the world's best-selling musical acts ever. Um, so originally known as Peter Green's Fleetwood Mac in 1967, they're out of London, England. Genres pop rock, soft rock, blues rock, art pop. And then years active 1967 to 1995, 1997 to 2022. And let's see here. They had a hiatus between 1982 and 1985 and 2019 and 2022. They've been on Blue Horizon labels. They've been on Blue Horizon, Reprise, Sire, CBS, Warner Brothers. So some spin-offs is Tramp, Stretch, Becca and Billy, Buckingham McVie. I'd never heard of any of those. Buckingham McVie is an album that I kind of want to pick up, which I haven't yet. Anyway, a lot of past members, of course. Primarily a British blues band in their early years, Fleetwood Mac achieved a UK #1 single in 1968 with the instrumental Albatross, and had other UK top 10 hits with Man of the World, Oh Well, both in 1969, and the Green Manalishi with the Two-Pronged Crown in 1970, which Judas Priest recorded that later and had a lot of success with that song. One of my favorites from Judas Priest is the Green Manalishi. Green left the band in May 1970, and McVie's wife, Chrissy McVie, joined as the official member on vocals and keyboards 2 months later, having previously contributed to the band as a session musician. Other key members during the band's early years were Jeremy Spencer, Danny Kerwin, and Bob Welch. By the end of 1974, these members had departed, which left the band without a guitarist and male singer. While Fleetwood was scouting studios in Los Angeles, he heard the American folk rock duo Buckingham Nicks, consisting of guitarist and singer Lindsey Buckingham and singer Stevie Nicks. Let's see here. He heard the American folk rock duo Buckingham Nicks, consisting of guitarist and singer Lindsey Buckingham and singer Stevie Nicks. In December 1974, he asked Buckingham to join Fleetwood Mac, with Buckingham agreeing on the condition that Nicks could also join. The addition of Buckingham and Nicks gave the band a more pop rock sound, and their 1975 album, Fleetwood Mac, topped the Billboard 200 charts in the United States. Their next album, Rumors, in 1977, reached #1 in multiple countries around the world and won the Grammy Award for the Album of the Year in 1978. Let's see here. The lineup remained stable through 3 more studio albums by the late 1980s. But by the late 1980s began to disintegrate. After Buckingham left in 1987, he was replaced by Billy Burnett, Billy Burnett and Rick Vito, although Vito left in 1990 along with Nix. A 1993 one-off performance for the first inauguration of President Bill Clinton reunited the classic 74 to 1987 lineup for the first time in 6 years, which is this right here. This is the reunion that it's talking about right there, called The Dance. Great concert. Uh, let's see here. A full-scale reunion took place for 4 years later, and Fleetwood Mac released their fourth U.S. #1 album, The Dance, a live album marking the 20th anniversary of Rumors and the band's 30th anniversary. Christian McVie left in 1998 after the completion of the Dance tour, but rejoined in 2014 for their On With the Show tour. Fleetwood Mac released their final studio album, Say You Will, in 2003 and 2018. Buckingham was fired and replaced by Mick Campbell, formerly of Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, and Neil Finn of Split Ends and Crowded House. After Christine McVie's death in 2022, rest in peace, Christine. Rest in peace, Christine. It's hard to believe you're gone still. Nick stated her belief in 2024 that the band would not continue without her. The cigar is doing very well still. Looks like I've dropped an ash somewhere. But anyway, in 1979, Fleetwood Mac were honored with a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in 1998. They were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and received the British Award for Outstanding Contribution. Or, I'm sorry, let me start that over. In 1998, they were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and received the Brit Award for Outstanding Contribution to Music. In 2018, Fleetwood Mac received the Music Cares Person of the Year Award for the Recording Academy in recognition of their artistic achievement in the music industry and dedication to philanthropy, something like that. So, which philanthropy is formed as altruism that consists of private initiatives for the public good, focusing on quality of life. Okay, so I was thinking it meant probably something like that. So anyway, so first album from Fleetwood Mac from 1968 is this album right here. And here's the back of it. And a really good album, really good album. You got Monday Morning, Warm Ways, Blue Letter, Ryan On, which is a huge hit with Fleetwood Mac. Is sang by Christine, or I'm sorry, sang by Stevie Nicks. Gosh, I'm having a hard time getting things out here. And then Over My Head, and then Crystal. And then on side two, we got Say You Love Me, Landslide, again by a great song by Stevie Nicks. That's a huge song for Fleetwood Mac. And then let's see here. Oh my gosh, something's caused me to jump into something else here. My notes. I gotta get on the right year of Fleetwood Mac here. Okay, here we go. Gosh, guys. Um, track listing. Um, Monday Morning by Lindsey Buckingham, Warm Ways by Christy McVie, Blue Letter by Michael Curtis and Richard Curtis, Ryan On by Stevie Nicks, which was a huge hit. Over My Head, Over My Head by Christy McVie, Crystals by Stevie Nicks, Say You Love Me by Christy McVie, Landslide by Stevie Nicks. there's some, I don't know what's going on. I'm getting some different things on my computer that I'm not needing with my Zoom app here. So anyway, um, hopefully that stuff didn't show up on this, up on the screen there. But let's see here. Say You Love Me by Chrissy McVie, Landslide by Nix, World Tourney by Chrissy McVie and Lindsey Buckingham, Sugar Daddy by Chrissy McVie, I'm So Afraid by Buckingham. And again, the biggest songs on this album was Rhine On, that was sang by Stevie Nicks, and Landslide, that was sang by Stevie Nicks. Both terrific songs. And let's see here. Want to see. So this song was #1 on the U.S. Billboard 200, 23 on the UK albums, and #10 at U.S. Indie Star album sales, 23 at U.S. Top Rock albums. And let's see here. Let's see here. Yeah, so great. I mean, this album did really well. Peaked at #1 on the Billboard 200 chart on September 4th, 1978. 58 weeks after entering the chart, and spawned two 20, let's see, top 20 singles: Over My Head, Ryan On, and Say You Love Me. Yeah, those are great ones too. And let's see here. This album went both at #11. Has been certified 9 times platinum by the Recording Industry Association of America, RIAA, for sales of over 9 million copies in the United States, peaking at #23 on the UK albums chart. It was the start of a run of hugely successful albums for the band in Britain, with 4 #1s, starting with Rumors 1977 and ending with Behind the Mask in 1990. Anyway, so yeah, so first album, which is just self-titled Fleetwood Mac, great album. Make sure you pick that up. And then this is a great live album right here from 1975. This album was recorded. Let's see here. This was recorded in Passaic, New Jersey, and Storrs, Connecticut, on October. Taken from October 1975. So shows in Passaic, New Jersey, and Storrs, Connecticut. So from 1975. So anyway, this is a really good album. Really good live album. If you really want some early Fleetwood Mac after Stevie Nicks and Lindsey Buckingham joined, this is a great live album right there. And then there's the back of it, and here's the inside of it. So really good live album. So check that out. And then of course we got Rumors next. Huge. This is really the album that made this band a staple item in the music world out there. Just a huge album for the band. And here's the back of it, by the way. So this album came out in 1977, on February 4th of 1977. This is technically the 11th album by Rumors. The other one was the 10th album, of course. A lot of albums beforehand, before Lindsey Buckingham and Stevie Nicks joined, of course. So this album, released on February 4th, 1977 by Warner Brothers Records, largely recorded in California in 1976. It was produced by the band with Ken Kalot and Richard Deschute. The recording sessions took place as the band members dealt with breakups and struggles with heavy drug use, both of which shaped the album's direction and lyrics. 39 minutes and 3 seconds on this album. And I forgot to mention the previous album, just Fleetwood Mac, was 42 minutes and 12 seconds. And that was recorded at Sound City Studios in Van Nuys, California. Producer was Fleetwood Mac and Keith Olsen on that album on Reprise Records. So then now we got Rumors on Warner Brothers Records. And man, this is another very special album for me because of the fact, and I forgot all about this. This album was recorded at Criteria Studios, where I went to school in my younger years for recording engineering. So yeah, it's just really exciting to know that this album was recorded, had a big part of just this song was this album. I'm getting all excited here. This album is huge, and to know that a big part of this album was recorded at Criteria Studios in Miami, Florida, is just huge. Since I got to have since I went to school there, in Miami in South Beach, Florida, with Career Institutes of America, and my recording, classes were with Rob Freeman, which is a pretty famous recording engineer. And for this album to be a part of Criteria Studios, it's awesome to know that. But it was also recorded as a Sausalito and let's see, record plant, Sausalito. I'm not real great at pronouncing certain things. Sausalito in Los Angeles. But yeah, so a lot of different places where this album was recorded, but it started with Criteria Studios in Miami, and then just went on from there to be a part of different studios. So this was recorded between February and August of 1976, and then was released February 4th of 1977. Sorry, released February 4th, 1977. Length 39 minutes. Label Warner Brothers. Producer Fleetwood Mac and Ken Kalot and Richard Deschute. So yeah, this was a huge album. Track listing on this one is Secondhand News, Dreams, Never Going Back Again, Don't Stop, which was a huge hit for Fleetwood Mac. Dreams as well. Never Going Back Again, Go Your Own Way, Songbird, The Chain, You Make Loving Fun, Don't Want to Know, Oh Daddy, and then Goldust Woman, which is my absolute favorite song from Stevie Nicks. But so many hits on this album, just so many hits. It's no wonder this album took off became so big. Again, this was number one on the Top Rock Albums Billboard, U.S. Top Rock Albums, U.S. Top Catalog Albums number one, U.S. Billboard 200 number one, UK Albums number one, South African Albums number one, Norwegian Rock Albums number one, New Zealand Albums number one, and Greek Albums number one, Dutch Albums number one. It's just amazing. Canadian Albums number one, Australian Albums number one. So it's no wonder this album's their biggest album. Just my God, I mean, number one on so many levels. It's just unreal, just unreal. And I could keep going on with other things that this album was huge on for the charts anyway. But this is just an amazing album. It really is. If you guys have not listened to this album for a while or never listened to it, make sure you find a way to listen to it. Great, great album. So anyway, yeah. So again, Fleetwood Mac Rumors. Yeah, great album, guys. Make sure you grab that up. Their biggest album to date, I believe. And then this is a really good album here, this Rumors Live. This was recorded at the Fabulous Forum in Inglewood, California on August 29th of 1977. Great album, great live album. You gotta make sure you pick that up. You can find these on Amazon. Um, and very enjoyable listen. And here's the inside of it. Great live shot. Not sure where that was taken at exactly, but great live shot at a big concert festival, I'm guessing. Um, so anyway, yeah, great album. So make sure you check that out. And then, next album right here is Tusk, which wasn't quite as successful. Good album, but not quite as successful. Tusk came out in 1979, was released on October 12th of 1979. Recorded at the Village Recorder in Los Angeles, California. Which, by the way, Fleetwood Mac genre is pop rock. Length 73 minutes, 45 seconds. Label Warner Brothers. Producer Fleetwood Mac, Richard Deschute, and Ken Collott. And this is the ninth. Let's see, I'm sorry. This is the 12th. Let's see here. 12th studio album. And this album was recorded between 1978 and 1979. Again, released October 12th of 1979. The band embarked on a 9-month tour at this time to promote Tusk. They traveled extensively across the world, including the US, Australia, New Zealand, Japan, France, Belgium, Germany, the Netherlands, and the UK. And Germany, they shared the bill with Bob Marley. On this world tour, the band recorded music for the Fleetwood Mac live album, released in 1980, which is this one right here. And I've got the extended version. So this has a bunch of extras on it. So anyway, but yeah, great double live album, as well as the Tusk album. Compared to 1977's Rumor, which sold 10 million copies by February 1978, Tusk was regarded as a commercial. Let's see. Tusk was regarded as a commercial failure by the label, selling 4 million copies in 2013. NME ranked Tusk at number 445 in their list of 500 greatest albums of all time. The album was also included in the book 1001 Albums You Must Hear Before You Die. In 2000, it was voted number 853 in Colin Larkin's all-time top 1,000 albums. So yeah, so not real successful. It was number 4 on the US Billboard 200, number 1 on the UK albums, number 1 on New Zealand albums, number 2 on Australia albums, but it just did not take off the way they were hoping. But it is it is double platinum with 2 million sales in the United States, platinum 300,000 in the United Kingdom. So it's yeah. So I mean, uh, it sold 4,000 copies worldwide. So anyway, yeah, not or is it 4 million? I'm sorry. 4 million copies worldwide, I guess, is what if I'm reading this right. So anyway, but yeah, I mean, it's a good album to listen to, but it's definitely not my favorite album of theirs, of course. It's a long album and not as good as the other albums that they or the other previous 2 albums that they did. But the track listing on Tusk, and I'm looking at it as an album with the way their album was set up. So on side A, Over and Over by Chrissy McVie, The Ledge by Lindsey Buckingham, Think About Me, Chrissy McVie, Save Me a Place by Buckingham, Sarah, Stevie Nicks, which that was a huge hit for Fleetwood Mac, Sarah. What Makes You Think You're the One by Buckingham, Storms by Nicks, That's All for Everyone by Buckingham, Not That Funny by Lindsey Buckingham, Sisters of the Moon uh, by Stevie Nicks. That was side two. On record two, side A, Angel by Nicks, That's Enough for Me by Buckingham, Brown Eyes by Chrissy McVie, Never Make Me Cry by Chrissy McVie, I Know I'm Not Wrong by Buckingham, Honey High by Chrissy McVie, Beautiful Child by Stevie Nicks, Walk a Thin Line by Buckingham, and then Tusk by Buckingham. So really and then number five, Never Forget. So really the two biggest songs off of this was Sarah and Tusk, of course. So those were the two biggest songs on this album. Not really any other big chart, hitters, or big top hitters on the charts. So anyway, but that's a good listen. Make sure you listen to it. And again, that was um, Tusk right here. And then the live album, it's a good live album. Definitely, you guys need to check this out right there. Fleetwood Mac live. Here's the inside of it right here. As you can see, Lindsey Buckingham cut all of his hair off. He had quite a bit of hair originally. Here's the rest of the inside of this album right here, and this is the extended version, of course. But anyway, good album to listen to. Make sure you guys check it out, and I think you'll really enjoy this. But a lot of great songs on this. A lot of great songs. Uh, it's even got the Green Man. Let's see, does this have the Green Manalishi? It does. It's even got the Green Manalishi on it, which is also let's see here. The Green Manalishi is also on their first live album on this one here. So, but anyway, so yeah, the Green Manalishi with the two pronged crown, it'll be becoming a big hit for Judas Priest later. That was a big song for them. So, okay. So anyway, next we've got Tango in the Night right here. And this is absolutely a great album. One of the best albums I think that they've put out. Tango in the Night is the 14th studio album by the British American rock band Fleetwood Mac, released on April 13th, 1987 by Warner Brothers Records. It's the fifth and final studio album with the band's most successful lineup: Lindsey Buckingham, Mick Fleetwood, Chrissy McVie, John McVie, and Stevie Nicks. Though Chrissy McVie would make guest appearances on the band's 2003 album Say You Will, this lineup did not reconvene again for another album until the 1997 live album The Dance. So anyway, this was recorded between 1985 or November of 1985 and March of 1987, released on April 13th of 1987. Studio where it was recorded was Rumbo Recorders and The Slope in Los Angeles, California. Length 43 minutes and 37 seconds. Label is Warner Brothers. Producer Lindsey Buckingham and Richard DeShoot again. And by the way, this cigar is doing very well. I've had to do one relight on it, but nothing too major yet on the cigar. It's keeping a pretty even burn line. I just dropped another ash. But getting some nice light spice, getting some dark chocolate, some coffee. Um, I'm getting some baking spice and some zestiness in this. I don't know if it's kind of a lemon zest or kind of a dried fruit, kind of a flavor note, but it sure tastes great with my coffee anyway. Um, Construction's doing great still. The draw's doing great still. And I do love that band, by the way. Really pretty red and kind of some grayish uh, colors to the band there. Um, so this album has some pretty good songs on it. Big Love, Seven Wonders, Everywhere, which Big Love is by Lindsey Buckingham, Seven Wonders by Stevie Nicks and Sandy Stewart, Everywhere by Chrissy McVie, Caroline by Buckingham, Tango of the Night by Buckingham, Mystified by Buckingham and Chrissy McVie, Little Lies by Chrissy McVie and Eddie Quintilla, Family Man by Buckingham and Richard Deschute, Welcome to the Room, Sarah by Nicks, Isn't It Midnight by Chrissy McVie, and Buckingham and Quintilla. When I See You Again by Stevie Nicks, and You and I Part 2 by Buckingham and Chrissy McVie. So really good album. Let's see where this charted again. This charted at number 7 on the US Billboard 200, number 1 on the UK albums charts, 1 on the Swedish albums, number 1 on the Swedish albums, number 1 on the UK albums, and a lot of other charts that it's showing here with different countries. Just a lot to go into, so I'll skip that. And of course, the original lineup for Fleetwood Mac is Lindsey. I mean, you know, after Lindsey Buckingham and Stevie Nicks joined, that classic lineup is again Lindsey Buckingham on vocals, guitars, keyboards, bass, percussion, and drum programming. Stevie Nicks on vocals, Christian McVie on vocals, keyboards, synthesizers, John McVie on bass guitar, and Mick Fleetwood on drums, percussion. So most of the singing comes from Stevie Nicks and Lindsey Buckingham and Christian McVie. Yeah, this is a good album though. I really love this album, and it's an album definitely worth checking out if you haven't done that yet. Make sure you guys do that. So, and again, that's Mirage right there. So, oh wait a minute, guys. I think I got my. Holy cow, guys! I've got to go back. I apologize. I hit the wrong. Mirage is where I want to be next. So yeah, I mean, what I read off will stick with. This was the last album, Tango of the Night. But I was wanting to read information off of this album right here. So we'll get into this one next, Mirage. So we'll go backwards a little bit. So anyway, but yeah, so I just read information on this album here, which was the 14th studio album, and that came out in 1987. 14th studio album right there. So anyway, but yeah, a lot of great songs on this album, a lot of great songs, and so I'm sorry that I jumped ahead of myself there. So let's go back to the previous album, which is again this album right here, Mirage, from 1982. Tango of the Night was from 1987. So let's look at Mirage. Mirage is the 9th studio album by the British and American band Fleetwood Mac, released on July 2nd, 1982 by Warner Brothers. This studio effort, soft rock sound, stood in stark contrast to its more experimental procedure 1979's Tusk. Mirage yielded several singles, Hold Me, which peaked at number 4 on the US Billboard Pop chart, remaining there for 7 weeks. Gypsy, number 12 on the US Pop chart. Love in Store, number 22 on the US Pop chart. Oh Diane, number 9 in the UK, and Can't Go Back, number 83 in the UK. In addition, You Were Here was released in Jamaica only and topped the Jamaican singles chart. So this album was released July 2nd, 1982. It was recorded between spring of 1981 and March of 1982. Studio was, I can't pronounce it. It was in France. Um, and then Larrabee Sound and Record Plant, both in Los Angeles, California. I think it's La Chateau in Harreville, France. This album length is 42 minutes, 52 seconds on Warner Brothers. Producer Lindsey Buckingham, Richard Deschute, Ken Collott, and Fleetwood Mac. And the track listing on this album is Love in Store by Kristen McVie and Jim Ricord. Can't Go Back by Lindsey Buckingham. That's All Right by Stevie Nicks. Book of Love by Buckingham Nicks. Or Buckingham, sorry, Buckingham. Uh, Gypsy by Nicks is what I was trying to say. Only Over You by Kristen McVie. And then Side 2, Empire State by Buckingham and Deschute. Straight Back by Stevie Nicks. Hold Me by Christy McVie and Robbie Petone. Oh Diane by Buckingham Deschute. Eyes of the World by Lindsey Buckingham. Wish You Were Here by Christy McVie. And let's see here. This album was went 2 times or double platinum at 2 million sales, and went platinum in the United Kingdom with 300,000 sales, gold in Spain with 50,000 sales, and on the charts again, U.S. Billboard #1, U.S. Billboard 200 #1, #5 on the UK albums, and #1 on the Iceland albums. So anyway, so not as quite successful as the very first 2 albums with, Stevie Nicks and Lindsey Buckingham. But, did well overall. So, and then this is another great live album, the Mirage Tour 1982, right here. Great album. Here's the inside of it here. Right there. There's the inside of it. This was again from the Mirage Tour. And this album was recorded in September of 1982. It looks like it might have been from different cities here. So 31 different cities this was recorded. Looks like over 31 different cities, if I'm reading that right. So anyway, but it's a good album, really good album. If you like live albums, this is another good one to pick up by Fleetwood Mac. So, I just love these extra pictures in there. Really love these extra pictures in here. So make sure you pick up that album and check it out. Yeah, it doesn't say exactly what city this was recorded in, but it's a good live album. It really is a good live album. So, and then again, let me look up something really quick on this album, the Tango in the Night album. I was curious. I was curious where this charted at and the certifications on it. So let's see here. It sold 15 million albums worldwide. It's triple platinum in the United States with 3 million sales. Wow, nine times platinum in the United Kingdom with 2007. Or I'm sorry, 2,700,000. No, let's see here. Okay, so triple platinum with 3 million sales in the United States. United Kingdom is 9 times platinum with 2,700,000. 2,700,000 sales. And platinum in Switzerland, 50,000 sales. So anyway, yeah, so I mean, somewhat successful, but again, their albums just didn't do quite as good as those first two albums they put out. Again, with Stevie Nicks and Lindsey Buckingham. But yeah, so this album here again, Tango of the Night, was number 7 on the US Billboard 200, number 1 at UK albums, number 1 on the Swedish albums. So anyway, so somewhat successful, but good album still. Really love that album. And then next we have Tango and let's see here. What do we have next? We got Behind the Mask next. So many albums. This was from 1990. Of course, Lindsey Buckingham is not a part of this album at all. At least I don't think so anyway. 15th studio album by Fleetwood Mac, released on April 9th of 1990. It was the first album released by the band after the departure of guitarist Lindsey Buckingham. Although he did play acoustic guitar on the album's title track, he was replaced by Billy Burnett and Rick Vito, both guitar players, singers, and songwriters. Fleetwood Mac thus became a 6-piece band with 4 singer-songwriters. Released again April 9th, 1990, recorded between 1989 and 90. Studio The Complex in Los Angeles, California. Vintage Records in Phoenix, Arizona. 54 minutes, 26 seconds on Warner Brothers. Producer Greg LaDonia, something like that. The the singles off this album was Save Me, Sky's the Limit, In the Back of My Mind, and Hard Feelings. Not as successful as Tango of the Night, nor did spawn any real big hit singles. Save Me made both by the American and Canadian top 40, while Love is Dangerous and Sky's the Limit enjoyed some airplay, though Behind the Mask barely reached the US top 20. The album entered the UK charts at number 1. So they did good in the UK. Achieved platinum status there in August 1990. The album was certified gold in the United States, making it the band's 10th album to do so. Following the album's release and subsequent world tour, band member Steve Nicks and Rick Vito left the band, though Nicks would rejoin in 1977 or 1997. The song Freedom was written by Steve Nicks with Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers guitarist Mike Campbell. Campbell would join Fleetwood Mac in 2018. Yeah, so the album cover, Fleetwood Mac didn't want to be on the cover, but they wanted to have characters that kind of symbolized each of the band members. So that's why that album doesn't have them on it, but it does show them on the back right there. So there's the back of that album. The cover earned a Grammy nomination in 1991 for the Best Album Package. So anyway, so yeah, not quite as a successful album as the other ones, of course, but and then then they reunited right here to play this show, and this was in 1997. But I love that picture of Stevie Nicks and Lindsey Buckingham there. This was a really good show. So I got the CD and the DVD. Really good show. And this was recorded. I want to say it was in. Gosh, I'm trying to think. Trying to think of where this was where they had this show at. But this has got a great packaging in it. So anyway, yeah, I really like the packaging on this on this. Um, I'm gonna have to look it up real quick where that was or where that concert was. Um, okay, let's see here. The Dance is a live album by the British American band rock band Fleetwood Mac, of course, released on August 19th of 1997. It hailed the return of the band's most successful lineup: Mick Fleetwood, John McVie, Chrissy McVie, Stevie Nicks, and Lindsey Buckingham, who had not released an album together since 1987's Tango in the Night. A decade earlier, it was the first Fleetwood Mac release to top the U.S. album chart since 1982's Mirage. Okay, so this was recorded at Warner Brothers Studios in Burbank, California. So that's where they did that show in front of an audience. And it's a really good show. You guys need to check that out if you haven't. Um, so make sure you check that out, definitely. Um, good live show, good reunion show. And fortunately, it was the last for them again to ever do a show together the way they did. So anyway, so that's too bad. I really was hoping that they would have continued on doing more with each other, but just I don't know, there's some differences between Lindsey Buckingham and Stevie Nicks that caused Lindsey Buckingham to leave, and then they did the reunion show, and then there's uh, Chrissy McVie then later didn't want to be a part of Fleetwood Mac because of some health issues, so she kind of set out on some recordings later and live shows, which we'll get into that too here in a moment. So anyway, yeah. So the mask behind the mask was the 15th studio album, and then in 2002, Greatest Hits package, which is a really good, just tons of songs by Fleetwood Mac on this. It's just called The Very Best of Fleetwood Mac. So if you're looking for a Greatest Hits album with Fleetwood Mac that's got just so much stuff on it, pretty much their whole catalog, include not anything before Stevie Nicks and Lindsey Buckingham, but uh, great, all the songs they did with those two. Um, so that's a great album to pick up if you're looking for a greatest hits package where you can get most of their big hits on it. So and then next, this album came out called Say You Will. Well, there was also an album called Time in 1995, which was not successful at all. Maybe you can see that on my phone. That's what it looked like. Stevie Nicks was not a part of that album. It was not successful at all, as far as I know. Yeah, it was number. It didn't even chart on the U.S. on the top 200 U.S. charts. It charted it in the UK albums. It was at number 47, so it did not do good at all. Um, Vocals was Becca Brumlett. Have no idea who that is. Billy Burnett on guitars, Dave Mason on guitars, Chrissy McVie on keyboards, John McVie on bass guitar, Mick Fleetwood on drums. Um, Looking up Becca, there's not even a picture of her that I can find. So anyway, just not a good album at all. But that was their 16th studio album, a complete failure. And then Say You Will came out right here, and this does not have Chrissy McVie as a part of this album, but it's a good album. 17th album, released on April 15, 2003. Um, Followed the album Time from 1995. It was their first album since 19. Let's see. It followed 1995's Time and was their first album since 1977 or 1970 without vocalist keyboardist Christine McVie as a full member following her departure in 1998. Although she participated in some songs as a guest musician, it'd be her last time being involved with the band in a studio capacity before her death in 2022. Lindsey Buckingham and Stevie Nicks shared keyboard duties throughout this album. This was recorded at the Bellagio House in Cornerstone, Chatsworth, Ocean Way in Hollywood, Lindsey Buckingham's home as well. 75 minutes, 56 seconds on Reprise Records. Producer Lindsey Buckingham, Rob Cavallo, and John Shanks. Peacekeeper and Say You Will were the two singles off this album. This was the band's last full album with Buckingham before his dismissal from the group in 2018, although he participated in their 2013 extended play in the 2017 Lindsey Buckingham, Chrissy McVie album, which included Mick Fleetwood and John McVie. Say You Will was the first studio album by Fleetwood Mac to peak in the top 3 in the U.S. since 1982's Mirage. The album debuted at number. Let's see here. The album debuted at number 3 with sales of 218,000. Spent 2 months within the top 40. Was certified gold by the RIAA in July 2003 for 500,000 copies. Shipped in the U.S. In the UK, the album peaked at number 6. Was certified gold by the BPI in May 2003 for 100,000 copies shipped. So anyway, yeah, this was a good album too. Track listing is What's the World Coming To, Murrow Turning Over His Grave, Illume 9, let's see, Illume 911, Thrown Down, let's see here, Thrown Down, Miranda, Red Rover, Say You Will, Peacekeeper Come. And let's see here. A lot of songs on this album, 18 songs on this album. Smile at You, Running Through the Garden, Silver Girl, Steal Your Heart Away, Bleed to Love Her, Everybody Finds Out, Destiny Rules, Say Goodbye, Goodbye Baby. So anyway, yeah, a lot of songs. They're good songs, but this album is an album that you gotta kind of take a break once in a while and then go back and finish it. Just a lot of songs. Um, It was number 3 on the US Billboard 200, number 6 on the UK album charts, number 8 on the Swedish album charts, 6 on the Irish albums. So anyway, but US Billboard 284 charted is where it charted. UK albums at 138. So anyway, not as successful either, but that was a year-end chart performance by Say You Will. Yeah, 84 on the US Billboard 200, but the album originally was on the US Billboard 200 number 3. So anyway, yeah, not as successful as well, but and then of course they brought out this live album, live in Boston. This came out right after. Um, and this is a good show. They got, sing a lot of their hits on this show, and it's a pretty good show. It really is a good concert, but it's sad to not see Christy McVie with these guys at the time. But good live album. It really is a good live album, and it's worth checking out definitely. But here's a little bit more of the inside of this album. Um, So anyway, good album. If you can find it at a decent price, it's worth picking up for sure. Um, but anyway, but yeah, I just, I wanted to do a show about Fleetwood Mac. As time went on, they didn't have quite as much success. Great, all their albums are good, really good albums, but some are, some aren't as good as the others. But they're all very enjoyable listens. But Fleetwood Mac is just a band that I really miss. I got everything from them, and I really miss this band a lot. I thought they were worth recognizing for their contributions to the music world, and they bring me a lot of great memories. But I thought I would go ahead and I thought I'd go ahead and kind of rate these albums where I think they should be. Um, so let's see here. Minus the Buckingham Nicks, I'm going to set that off to the side, but I would probably put this Fleetwood Mac number or album at number two. Rumors at number one. So number one, Rumors. Number two, Fleetwood Mac at number two. And of course, going to put Mirage at number three. Put Tango of the Night at number four. And let's see here. Tusk at number five. I'm going to put Behind the Mask at number six. And this one would be at number seven. So you will. And then, of course, Time would be at number eight. I never listened to that album, so I guess it'd have to be rated at number eight, I guess. Um, and no, skip that because I want to throw in the live albums too. Um, for live albums, um, I'm going to put this one at number one, Rumors number one, and put this one at number two. This one I'm going to rate at number three. And let's see here. Probably, actually, I'm going to put this at number three, The Dance. And then the first Fleetwood Mac live at, let's see here. I get all my albums back out here. Start this over. I've got to get myself all straightened out here real quick. So anyway, so yeah, so I'm gonna put Rivers at number one for live albums. Number one. I'm gonna put this at number two, The Dance at number two. I'm gonna put Mirage at number three. I'm gonna put the first Fleetwood Mac live at number four. and then Live in Boston at number 5, and then Live Fleetwood Mac at number 6. So that's the order I got the live albums in. So that's where I'm rating those, or where I'm putting those in order. But yeah, Fleetwood Mac again, just a lot of great memories with this band with me growing up, and so even though some of their albums weren't as successful as others, they're all great albums. But of course, Rumors will be always probably their best album. Um, and I think their second biggest album in my eyes was um, probably Mirage would probably be my second favorite album of theirs besides Rumors. Um, but yeah, they're all great listens to, guys. So if you're a Fleetwood Mac fan, or maybe you used to be a Fleetwood Mac fan, you just haven't listened to them for a while, break out some of their albums and listen to it, and see maybe where you maybe rate some of these albums and their live albums if you've got any of the live stuff. But see maybe kind of where you rate these albums or where you would put them in order, from your favorite to worst, or at least favorite album of theirs. Um, so let me know in the comment section uh, where you would put these albums. Um, but man, I really hope I can catch Stevie Nicks sometime. I hope I can catch her in concert still. I've never been able to see her. I've never been able to see Fleetwood Mac. I really want to see. I was really hoping to see Fleetwood Mac um, before anything happened to him. But it just never worked out for me to be able to see these guys. So anyway, I really hope to see Stevie Nicks at least. Um, so just a little bit of some heavy metal news. Former Megadeth drummer Sean Drover to join Accept as special guest artist for 3 European shows. Slayer, there's an unboxing video for a special 40th anniversary reissue of Hell Awaits. So there's a 40th anniversary reissue of Hell Awaits out. If you go to YouTube, you can see an unboxing video for that. Let's see here. Biohazard's Evan Seinfeld launches Full Metal Fitness fitness app. Um, John Bush says he would like to play special shows with Anthrax special featuring him, Joey Belladonna, and Neil Turbin. Alice Cooper, you can watch Alice Cooper as he kicks off his spring 2026 Alice's Attic U.S. tour with new guitarist Anna Cara in San Antonio. Of course, Nita Strauss is pregnant. Of course, she's going to have a baby, I think, sometime soon. She's due this summer, I guess. Um, so anyway, I definitely want to catch Alice Cooper again. Um, I would love to catch him again, and I'm curious about his new guitarist. Um, and again, her name is Cara. Anna Cara. Blaze Bailey says his voice and confidence level has gone up so much after he stopped doing meet and greets at his concerts. Hmm. Adrian Smith on Iron Maiden's 50th anniversary. It's incredible. It's gone so quickly. And of course, they've been nominated into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. There's question if they'll reject that nomination, and not accept that because they've been against the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for so long, for being shut out the way they have been over the years. Um, so there's rumor. I mean, there's a statement by There's been statements by Bruce Dickinson that they ever got accepted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They had rejected. So we'll see what happens with that. But they finally made it into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Joe Perry on Aerosmith. The band is still kind of definitely not in touring mode, but there are certainly other options. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with Aerosmith in the future, I guess. And let's see what other stuff is going on in news. I don't think there's a lot going on. I would like to see Aerosmith back together in some way or another. Um, Lita Ford is hoping to release her long-awaited new album in fall of 2026. That would be great. I would love to see a new Lita Ford album. Um, Says that she's done a really killer duet with German metal singer Doro Pesch, which would be on this album. And it looks like she's got some guest appearances by some different musicians on here. So that would be really great. Paul Stanley on Kiss's upcoming Avatar show. The experience will start when you come through the door. There's been some new material that's been written by Paul Stanley for that. Iron Maiden Steve Harris sets record straight about Burning Ambition documentary is about us, but it was not produced by us. Which I got tickets for that that documentary movie that'll be on theaters. I got tickets for that. I think, gosh, let's see here. When will I be seeing that? I've got my ticket here. Let's see, May 7th, I'll be seeing that new Iron Maiden documentary, Iron Maiden Burning Ambition. Take my son to that. So, anyway, yeah, so excited about that and can't wait to see that movie. And I think that's about it for metal news right now. Uh, find some heavy metal birthdays to discuss real quick. Going to Loudwire. Let's see here. Bill Demmel, born on April 2nd, 1967. Band Ex Machine Head, Violence, and Kerry King. He's with Kerry King, instrument singer, guitarist, at the age of 59. Born again on April 2nd, 1967. Mike Ness with Social Distortion, singer songwriter, born April 3rd, 1962, at the age of 64. Mike started with Alice in Chains, bassist. Um, he's not alive anymore. He passed away. Would be 60 if he was still alive. So rest in peace, Mike. Sebastian Bach, born on April 3rd, 1968, at the age of 58, singer songwriter, ex Skid Row. Uh, Solo. He's done a lot of solo stuff. Of course, he's now the current singer for Twisted Sister for a handful of shows. Um, Udo Dirk Schneider, born April 6, 1952, at the age of 74, ex singer for Accept, of course, with his band UDO. And gosh, John Cooper of Skillet, lead singer, songwriter, bassist for Skillet, born April 7th, 1975. He's age 51. And let's see here. Izzy Stradlin, birth date April 8th, 1962. Of course, ex Guns N' Roses, his own band. Izzy Stradlin and the Juju Hounds, guitar singer at the age of 64. Paul Gray of Slipknot, bass player for Slipknot. Birthplace April 8th, 1972, or birth date April 8th, 1972. Would have been 54 if he was still alive. So rest in peace, Paul. Yeah, let's see, who else do we got here? A lot of bands I really have never heard of too much. And just some artists that just really aren't with the metal genre. Warren DeMartini, born April 10th, 1963, guitarist for Rat at the age of 63. Richie Blackmore, born April 14th, 1945, at the age of 81, guitarist. He's been with Blackmore's Night, Rainbow, XD Purple. And we'll stop here. I think Phil Mogg, uh, singer-songwriter for UFO, born April 15th of 1948. He's at the age of 78 right now. Yeah, we'll stop there, I think. So anyway, guys, I think that's it for today for heavy metal news and heavy metal birthdays. Um, um, but anyway, guys, let me know if you're a fan of Fleetwood Mac out there, and let me know what you think of this band. What memories do you have of theirs? I have so many great memories from these guys, and I do want to show before we end this, I do want to share just a promo video for the dance concert that's out on CD, DVD. Great show to watch. I think you can even watch it here on YouTube. I think you catch the full show on YouTube. Um, so make sure you check out this show. Let's see here. Rewind that.
The legendary Fleetwood Mac. A band like no other. Beautifully captured in 1997, performing their greatest songs. Fleetwood Mac, The Dance.
A little promo there. We'll go ahead and stop that. But yeah, check out that show if you guys haven't checked it out. And appreciate you guys joining me today. I feel like this really wasn't one of my best uh, shows today with talking. I don't know, for some reason I don't know what's going on today with me. But I hope you guys enjoyed this show today. I really do. It's been fun hanging out with you guys a little bit again and discussing Fleetwood Mac. It's just a band that I miss every day. I miss Stevie Nicks and Lindsey Buckingham being together on that stage together. I miss Chrissy McVie being a part of that show, part of their shows. It's just hard to see these guys not together anymore. Um, I got to pick up the Buckingham McVie album. It's the only other album that came out after the Fleetwood Mac stuff. That's got those two. It's got members from Fleetwood Mac on it. So I got to check that out and see what that's like. If any of you guys have that album, let me know what you think of it. But yeah, great band. I mean, I think Fleetwood Mac is a band that will always be missed. I think they're a band that really has shaped, the rock world out there. And one thing I've loved about Fleetwood Mac so much is I'm a huge Kiss fan, of course, a lot of you know, but they all kind of have their own personalities and everything too. Kind of the way Kiss does. They all got their own kind of personas, and just they got just every one of them's got their own character almost to each other and personas and they all act so different, but just great. They've had some great concerts and great performances, great songwriting. Mick Fleetwood, I think, is one of the best drummers in the business out there. I think he's a great drummer, and of course, everyone's just been so talented in this band. And I just, it's sad to see them not around anymore. It really is sad to see that. Just every band, every legend is just slowly slipping by us and, disappearing on us. So if there's any bands around that you love, make sure you catch them before they go away. I really regret missing Fleetwood Mac. I regret, seeing some other bands that I never had a chance to see that I really wish I could have. So it's just tough, seeing your bands go away that you love, but they leave their music behind for us to enjoy. And so anyway, but guys, all of you out there, I appreciate all of you so much. Without you guys, again, I wouldn't be here. And I really hope you guys have enjoyed the show somewhat today. It wasn't my finest moments today, I don't think, but I'll make up for it in the next one. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this anyway today. But just definitely want to recognize Fleetwood Mac, since I recognized Chris, since I recognized Stevie Nicks on my last show, I wanted to recognize Fleetwood Mac on this one. And but guys, I hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend coming up. I hope you guys just have a really good weekend coming up. And I hope you guys are doing well out there. I really do. I appreciate you guys so much. And without you guys, I wouldn't be here, like I said. So, but anyway, until next time, guys, I look forward to seeing you guys again. And I appreciate you guys. I really do. So anyway, but again, episode 10 today of Harper Cigar Lounge. And hope you guys enjoyed the show today. I really do. So, but anyway, leave in the comments if this is a band you like or not. What memories do you have of this band? What albums do you like? Where would you chart their albums, or where would you place their albums between their, best and worst albums? So anyway, guys, let me know in the comments. Let me know how you're doing out there. Stay in touch. I'll stay in touch back. And again, if you're new to this channel, make sure you subscribe today. Hit the like, leave your questions, comments, and feedback. Share this content with everybody you know out there, guys. Anyway, I'll see you guys soon. And I appreciate you guys so much. And I'll talk to you later. Keep rocking out there. And by the way, this cigar, I've had to do a couple relights on it, but it is doing well. The taste notes have been pretty consistent in this cigar. The construction, everything, the draw staying really well on this cigar. Slip the band off. There's the close up of the band right there. But anyway, good cigar, guys. Overall, I'm enjoying the taste notes. And again, this is the West Tampa Tobacco Red, 6x50 Toro, and wrappers Maduro, Mexican, San Andreas, binders Nicaraguan, Condega, filler Condega, Viso, Esteli Ligro, Esteli Viso, country of origin Nicaragua, 60 to 90 minute smoke, full strength considered, which I kind of find it more medium strength for me, I guess. Taste notes of coffee, spice, leather, cocoa, or chocolate. Natural tobacco sweetness. So a good cigar. Make sure you guys pick up some of these if you ever get a chance. They're good cigars. They also come in Robustos as well in that size if you're not wanting to get a Toro. But anyway, guys, again, keep rocking, keep smoking out there. Take care of yourselves. Thanks for all your support to me. And I hope you guys enjoy this today. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye, guys.